What's up guys, it's All Day Anthony, and oh my god, I got a GTR. All right. So maybe that was a little bit of a push. Honestly, guys, I can't afford a GTR right now, hence why I drive an Evo. However, if I wanted to be like every other car YouTuber out there, I could potentially take a huge financial risk in buying a car that I know I can't afford in hopes of making enough ad revenue per month to be able to make the minimum monthly payment, only to find out that I can't, so I make up some lame excuse why I have to sell it and get something cheaper. Or there's also insurance fraud. I could always wreck the car, take the claim, get all that extra money and put it back into mods on the car in hopes of generating more money per month to keep you guys watching. But I'm not gonna get into semantics of all of that stuff. Let's get to the video. All right guys, so on a real note, this is my friend Chris's 2016 Nissan GTR. He dropped it off for the weekend so I can do some side work in preparing the entire front end of this car for paint protection film. He knows how OCD I am, and he knows that I like to detail. So what I'm gonna be doing is going over the entire car with Dr. Color Chip and filling any imperfections or chips or scratches I can with that system. And then after that, I'm gonna be paint correcting the entire front end to as close as perfection as possible before we essentially seal it in time with the PPF film. But first, before we do any of that, I absolutely need to wash this thing. This is absolutely filthy. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see on camera here, but the entire front end is covered in bug guts. He's got bug guts trailing all down the side of the fender. See the mirrors, it's pretty hammered. However, here's the thing. This is nighttime right now. It's about 10:30 at night. It's freezing cold outside. It's extremely windy. So I'm going to be washing the car via rinseless wash with O&R. However, I'm not super concerned about the wash method or how I'm going to be removing all of this stuff as I'm going to be polishing the paint anyways. So again, I'm going to be fixing anything I may put into it. But ideally what we're going to do in the long-term goal, so I might split this off into two videos. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare the entire front end in this video. So what you guys are going to see, you'll see me wash the car here inside the garage. Then after that, you're going to see me clay the front end and get everything nice and pretty. And then fill the rock chips, of course. We're going to let it sit. Tomorrow I'm going to be polishing the front end, and then he's going to be taking it for the week. But the end-to-end goal of all of this is to have the entire car corrected everywhere, right? Have the front PPF'd, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna coat the entire car. So I'll actually be coating over the paint protection film with Optimum Gloss Coat, which is an OptiCoat product, which is basically a ceramic coating is what it is. So very similar to the one I have on the Evo. So that's kind of the end goal. Sorry, this is a long intro. I know you guys wanna see me just get to it. But again, what I'm gonna do is just clean the vehicle up first before I do anything. And I'm gonna go over what I'm gonna be using in just a minute. So really quick, we're gonna go over this because I know you guys are gonna ask me what I'm using down in the comments. So we're gonna be doing a rinseless wash with Optimum No Rinse. This is the industry standard in rinseless wash. It's a very advanced product. Some people are gonna say, why didn't you foam the car? Why didn't you soap the car? And guys, to be honest, Optimum No Rinse is far more advanced than any soap could ever be. That's just the truth right there. And it allows me to wash in the garage without making a mess and still getting awesome results. I know I don't have the label on here, but honestly, it's nothing fancy to look at. Anyways, following that, we're gonna be using Power Clean and an IK foamer. I am gonna be foaming the car, or at least the front portion of the car, with this in my garage as well. It's got the dry foam setting on here. It's pretty cool. Puts on a nice show. And then besides that, I'm gonna have Power Clean here in a spray bottle for when I need to build necessary lather around the car, so I'm not getting foam overspray on the Evo over there. I got a boar's hair brush here just to agitate the cracks and crevices. For the wash itself, I'm gonna be using a couple chenille mitts. These are Rag Company chenille mitts. I have some Platinum Pluffles in here, Dry Mirror River waffle weaves. I have some traditional waffle weaves that I'm gonna use to probably scrub some of the bug guts that are more stubborn. And then I just have some random microfiber towels to do any dirty cleanup around the car. So again, guys, this is just it's a get it done wash. I'm not gonna be super methodical about this. I just need to get it done. I am gonna be doing a pre-spray with Optimum No Rinse, because as magical as it is in the bucket and on the car, what I like to do is I like to pre-spray the car with a bug sprayer and get it prepped and get it to actually start working. So right when Optimum No Rinse hits the surface, it allows it to start working and picking up the dirt particles and encapsulating that in a bubble, basically. So enough talking, guys. Let's just get to it. So I know some people are sitting there watching me and saying, oh my God, he's only using one bucket. I don't understand. Aren't you supposed to use a 2-bucket wash method? Well, kind of going back to what I was saying before, guys. So Optimum No Rinse is an advanced product. I mean, technically, you really only need 1 bucket, because the second my dirty mitt goes into the solution, what it does, it likes to release all that dirt. So it drops it to the bottom. I do have a grit guard in there. So technically, I only do need to use 1 bucket. But even if I didn't use this product and I was just using soap and water, going back to the point that I'm correcting the paint anyways. I'm gonna be polishing everything and getting it back to perfect. So the most damage I would do here is maybe micro marring at the very least. So I'm not gonna cause any damage. So again, that's just something to keep in mind for people that are sitting there behind the keyboard wanting to be a warrior. This is just the get it done wash method, as I'm gonna be going over everything anyways. Okay, so after wiping down the front end, I still have a ton of baked on bug guts here on the front that just weren't coming off with the initial wipe, and that's totally fine. Hence why I have the IK sprayer filled with Power Clean here. And so what this is gonna do, this is going to lay on a foam of this all-purpose cleaner. And basically when you foam an all-purpose cleaner, what that does is that forces air into that product, into those molecules, which activate it to where it works a lot faster than if I were to just spray it out of a spray bottle. It's pretty cool, it looks really cool, however it's functional. So what I wanna do is spray the entire front end, let it sit for a second, and then re-wash that area or agitate the areas with my brush that I need to get into. Like for example, there's some bugs lodged into this crack right here, up inside here, down inside this little honeycomb vent here. So there's some stuff lodged that I'm gonna have to work out with a brush, but that's the only way to get it perfect. So what I'm gonna do is spray this down, wipe it down again, basically neutralizing the all-purpose cleaner, then finish with the rest of the wash, dry it off, and we're good to go. Let's pump this up. All right, you ready to see the magic? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I just finished up with the brush work, so it's time to wipe this stuff off. You don't want to let this sit on here for too long. You know, a couple minutes is okay. I'm using Power Clean diluted 10:1, which is pretty light for an all-purpose cleaner, but it is still pretty strong. So again, we're just going to rewash this area, get that Power Clean off of there, and that did help dislodge a ton of those bugs. You know, if I have to scrub anything, I have another towel inside there that I can use, but everything's coming off really, really easy. Okay, so I just finished with the front bumper here, and it looks so much better than it did before. Oh my God. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, you guys got to take a look at this bucket. This is, you see all those bugs floating around in there. I got to change out this water before I even touch the rest of the car because that's pretty bad. So the foam worked great. I used a dry foam setting on the IK foamer. This does have 3 different nozzles on here that adjust the type of foam you want. So if you want a dry foam, which doesn't cause too much of a mess, you can use that. There's the wet foam, which is like a very liquidy foam, obviously. And then there's the standard, which is kind of right in the middle. This is an awesome tool. I use the dry foam, hence why there isn't so much of a mess as there could have been. Oops. So yeah, really simple process. You can actually pick this up on Amazon. I'm gonna put links down in the description so you can find some of the stuff in here, including some of the towels that I'm gonna be using today. So I'm gonna go change out this water, clean out these mitts, wash the rest of the vehicle, and then we're gonna start in on the front end. All right, so the GTR is washed. I need to dry the car now. It looks a lot better. I only made a little bit of a mess, you know, here and there. But again, guys, I'm able to do this in my garage. So really in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a drying aid, which is going to allow a little bit more glide when I'm drying the car. It's gonna feel nicer, it's gonna be a little bit smoother, but I don't wanna add any wax, right? So typically when you're using a drying aid, you can use a quick detailer, you can use a wax, you can use a spray sealant, all sorts of different things. What I'm using is basically another variation of a waterless wash. So this is called OptiClean, which is used the same polymers that Optimum No Rinse uses to basically safely lift up dirt and clean. But as a result, what's nice is that it has a lot of lubrication, a lot more lubrication than O&R does in terms of the way it feels. So I like to use this as a drying aid. So for a quick example here, I'll do a couple quick sprays here on the hood, and then simply just dry that in. And what's nice is that I'm not adding any wax or anything like that to it, but it does have some type of friction modifier in there to make it smoother. So just like that, that area is dry. So now do this for the rest of the car, get it done, and then we can finally examine what kind of chips we have to fill. All right, so I thought this would be a good time to do a quick inspection now that the car is dry. I've yet to clay it. I'm gonna do that here in a minute, but I thought this would be a good time to kind of get an overview of any bug etchings or anything like that that I need to focus on when I am claying. But right off the bat, underneath this lighting I have right here, I can see things that you guys probably can't, but I do have this fancy swirl finder light that hopefully you guys can see what I'm looking at. So the paint itself, examining the paint, yeah, there's some light swirling, there's some marring on it, you know, pretty normal. There is some water spotting from, looks like hard water in certain areas. Not too bad though, definitely not the worst I've ever seen. What does concern me though is getting more into these deeper etchings, not just the water spot etching, but these bird drop etchings, these bug gut etchings, because some of these, you think you'd be able to scrape those away or those would come off during the wash, but really they won't. You'd either have to clay or polish some of those out. But the one hard part about red, you know, I'm doing raw, oh wow, holy crap. ton of bug etchings right there. Oh, wow. Well, guys, it's a GTR. It goes fast. It's going to happen. I get it. So right off the bat, though, you can see these little chips right here. These are pretty white. There. And there's smaller chips all over the place. I mean, smaller ones here, and here. I'm going to try to get as picky as I can and try to get everything. But again, you know, I'm going to get focused on all the big stuff, then follow up with the small stuff because it's easy for things to get lost in this color. Paint chips, I get it. It happens on the Evo. It sucks when it happens, but you know, it does happen. Just do the best you can, fill them, get them back to new. But one thing I will absolutely tell you to do is if you ever hit a field of bugs, or if you ever have a bird dropping on your car, literally stop everything that you're doing and get that thing off there, because that will etch the paint that will go into the clear coat. Like this has etchings all over it. That's only going to come out with either a clay, like a very aggressive clay, and a compound or polish. It's not worth it. Don't leave it on there. It takes 30 seconds to take it off. Save yourself some time, some headache, and also your detailer some headache. But coming back here, one little chip there. The owner, Chris, he's a buddy of mine. He's not as anal and as OCD as I am, but he does like that I am like that, because he knows I'm going to do a good job. It's just, you know, again, it's kind of hard to see every single little imperfection. He knows his car better than I do, so I'm more of just like a third person coming in here and doing the best I can to touch things up. So as far as all of this stuff back here, I'm saving this for a later day, because again, I'm only doing the front clip. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and clay this really quick. I'm going to use the new Optimum clay towel. You'll see that here in a minute. Go over the front end, get this all smoothed out, and then we're going to get to some rock chip repair. All right, so it's time to clay. This right here, guys, is Optimum Polymer Technology's latest and greatest clay towel. Basically, this is everything you love about a clay barb in a towel form, using a fine grade clay. This thing has been my saving grace, my lifesaver for the past month, couple months. I tried it out in January, and it finally became available to consumers this month. So this thing's been awesome. So using this and my IK multi-sprayer. So this is very similar to the foam sprayer in design, but it's completely different functionally. This only sprays a liquid. This does not foam, but I love using it for clay lube, and I love using it to basically provide glide for my clay. So what I do is I pump it up, I turn it to the mist setting, I come over here, and I simply mist it on. And kind of what this does is this creates almost like a morning dew effect, to where you get an even coverage throughout the entire vehicle, or throughout the entire area that you're spraying. But what's cool about that is not only does it provide lubrication, but it provides, it's like a template, so I can see where I have gone with my clay towel. So for example, I've sprayed this whole area here. When I wipe, I've known that I've deconned this area, but I haven't touched this yet because it still has that mist on it. Now, I know you can probably do the same thing with a sprayer if you're ever so inclined, or if you want to pump that many times, but it's never going to be as even as this or as accurate as this, so it's kind of nice. So with that said, I'm going to clay out this whole area here and show you what I do. So if you listen closely, not really anything, right? Come over here. So big difference. Contaminated, non-contaminated. So let's go ahead and knock out the rest of this front end. right, so shifting gears here, kind of cleared most of the wash stuff away because now it's time for the Dr. Color Chip. Guys, this is my favorite paint chip repair system, paint scratch repair system, whatever you want to call it. This is hands down my favorite. The easiest to use, the best results. There's really nothing like it on the market. I mean, it's literally amazing. So I've been using this for several years. On the Evo, I think the longest running chip I have on there that's been filled is almost 3 years now, and it hasn't budged. It still looks awesome. I have it coated over. So it's a permanent repair. I tell people that this system is the best for a reason. People love it. So this is the standard kit. So this is around, I think, 40 bucks, 45 bucks. So in the kit, you'll get cheaper microfiber cloth. We'll use that because this is just a nice throwaway towel. You get a little kit here to where basically you get the paint and then you get their sealant, which is basically, I keep saying basically, sorry, but this is basically what seals in the paint. So this is going to help you remove the excess paint, but anything inside the chip, it seals. If you guys have more questions on this, I have a full video. You can check it out on my channel as well. And then in here, we have our color matched paint, which, holy crap, that looks pretty red, man. I don't know. That looks like maroon. Hold on. That wouldn't be good. That looks like that's got metallic in it. Oh shit, dude. Hopefully he didn't get the wrong red. That would suck. Open this up. Shit. That sucks. Yeah, dude, this is the wrong red. Wow, okay. So, all right, so based on that footage, guys, this whole video is essentially a wash for right now. I mean, literally a wash. And a wash in terms of I can't do much more than this. The Dr. Color Chip color is the wrong color. I just called Chris and verified that, yeah, he got the deeper, more of the maroon red. And it really wasn't his fault. I mean, I honestly should have checked the moment he got here to make sure the color was correct. But looking on Dr. Color Chip's website, they have the color codes, but next to the color, they're flip-flopped. So A54, this color, is actually the darker red on the website, whereas the Tri-Coat Pearl, which is the darker color, is actually the lighter color on the website. So it was kind of, it was just a big wash, essentially. And so I kind of feel bad because I really wanted to finish this video, but after what just happened, I really did sit there and think to myself, well, crap, dude, I just wasted my entire night filming this and washing this car and doing all this prep work for literally no reason whatsoever. We're gonna call this part 1 of the series of this GTR. I am going to be finishing it out probably in the following weeks after SEMA, because I'm gonna be going to SEMA and I'm gonna be super busy with that for work. So with that said, it's probably gonna wait till November. I'm probably gonna do it in Chris's garage because it's a lot warmer. But yeah, guys, I'm kind of pissed. I'm upset. But I called Chris and he was super apologetic and he felt really bad because I've done all this already, but at the same time, I'm not blaming him. I should have checked. I'm kind of, it's equal blame at that point. So the car does look good. What I did in the meantime, since I'm going to be following up with this here in a couple weeks, I just did a quick little spray sealant on the front just in case he does drive it, because I've already clayed it and I don't want to recontaminate that area, and I've already cleaned out the pores of the paint. So that'll hold it over for the next couple weeks. So again, guys, if you watch this whole video, thank you for watching. I'm sorry we didn't get to the good stuff, but I promise you I will have the good stuff here in a couple weeks, in which you'll see me do the color chip repair and you'll see me do the polishing and get the front end all cleaned up and get everything coated. I kind of feel bad, but I didn't want to waste this video. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more in the future, make sure to subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Solid Anthony. Peace.